I don't trust that website in terms of like, isn't it security? I reckon there's like, that's probably one of the more dangerous sites.
Probably, yeah.
So I always I have a Flash plugin.
Okay, so
that
this
allows me to like download any video on the screen.
Oh, you don't.
Alright, what up? It's your boys from Melbourne. We're streaming for the official NBA Beancast. We got Bill.
Shout out, Ross.
Pratt's here. And we got Karan, the president of the Chris Middleton fan club.
Shout out, Chris Middleton. Third in the...
I don't think it was that was the worst.
No one cares about who came third.
That was the worst behind the back dribble I've ever seen. Come on, Chris.
He forgot the ball.
I mean, yeah. Alright, let's go. I don't care.
I've seen too much.
Yeah, skills challenge.
They need to change it up.
Well, today on the list we've got winner and loser of the week. That's my job for this week. We've got a couple of bit of news to get through, a couple of big injury, big pick in the All-Star game picked up, a couple of other things like that, like Clippers, and then
we've got shit on Paul George for a little bit.
Yeah, it's always going to happen. And then we've got a prediction to finish the episode off.
Sounds good.
I've just realised that we're going to shit on the Clippers and they're going to get the curse, so...
And they're going to play really well. So
it's all good.
Buy high, buy low on Paul George right now.
It's all good. The Lakers are the winners for the week anyway.
That's right. Bucks are my losers.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't noticed yet, every time we shit on a team or a player, they tend to go on a crazy streak. And if we talk them up, they do terribly. So for the rest of the season, the LA Lakers are going to be at least
the greatest team in NBA history. Better than Showtime.
Lemon James is our official MVP frontrunner.
Anthony Davis is the boy frontrunner.
What?
Kyle Kuzma, 6-man frontrunner.
Exactly.
All right, well, I'll get us started. I've got winner of the week, and I had to pick Zion Williamson.
Oh, yeah.
He's been unreal.
Give me them numbers,
man. That's the weird thing. It's like his numbers have been crazy, but we haven't seen that, that dunk that just sets everyone off. And so I feel like it's gone under the radar, weirdly enough.
It's coming.
But, like, his numbers have been insane, just, like, the consistency and the great performance. He's got, like, first performance he had 22, then 15, 21, 14, then it's been 24, 21, 20, 21, he missed the game, and then he dropped 31 and 32.
Did you see that he was, like, I think, the first rookie since Shaq to put up those scoring numbers?
Yeah, I saw that.
There's 8 20-point games, in the first 10.
Like, first to put, like, 200 points up in his first 10.
And I think every single game, with the exception of the Bucks game, he's been above 50% from the field.
Yeah, and we said it before. Yeah, we said it before the season started. This dude, he's just something that no one currently playing in the league has anyone seen. He's too big, too fast, too strong.
I mean, I was completely wrong in saying that.
Shout out to Dunkman. That's all he's coming.
They knew it. They had Jimmy M and Zion Williamson on the same team.
Oh man. No, I mean, I was thinking that Ja Morant would be significantly better, at least, not for this entire season, but within just those 10 performances. I'm not saying Zion's better.
I get what you mean. The Zion ceiling.
Yeah, like even just for this season alone, we were saying that he would be sitting out back-to-backs and barely playing anything. Again, I'm not saying he has a chance at Rookie of the Year, but like it's not
out of the question now.
Yeah,
he's a chance. No, I think he is.
I think it's a bit unfair to give it to someone that's only played 35
It's
games.
unfair, and he's not going to get it.
It is, but he's still a
But
chance.
at the same time, it's like it's worth the conversation. That's the level of surety I'll give it. Like,
hey, by the way, I rate that pantsuit on whoever's wearing the or whoever's doing the on-court interview.
just a quick shout out. We are watching the
NBA Skills Challenge.
We are watching this Saturday night. All-Star events.
Yeah, and like I said, like he's doing it against like decent teams as well. It's like it's not just some random team, but like he put up 31 and 32 against Portland and OKC. Okay, he didn't play against Indiana, but then he played against Milwaukee, and he still put up those really good numbers.
Give me the field goal percentage there, Freddie.
He had a field goal percentage of 26.3.
Shout out John Kumbo, D-boy.
John Kumber. John Kumber.
Jonas.
Nah, he's been really good. Like that Bucks game is clearly an anomaly for how he's been going. So
Like he's played against, he played really well against Denver. He's played really well against defensive teams
Everyone.
like Memphis.
played really well against
Yeah,
everyone.
but you got to say though, the Bucks D is particularly well suited to stopping a player like Zion.
Everybody.
Zion in particular, because they absolutely clog the paint. They don't give you anything there.
Yeah, so just the way he's been able to fit into that system again. I was talking shit about how Brandon Ingram wouldn't be able to fit back into that system and all of that, and none of that has mattered. Like the entire team is fit together seamlessly.
Yeah, I remember us having this conversation when he debuted. It was like Zion integrated for everyone else instead of like everyone else having to sacrifice for him, which has been really positive for the Pals.
Yeah, but we kind of saw this coming though, because Zion's never been the kind of player that always needs the ball to be
he's
effective.
not going to be a high usage in terms of the superstars of the league.
I really just can't wait for that dunk where he's going to completely posterize
Annihilate
someone. And
Anthony Davis. He's not.
No. Anthony Davis is going to
be Aaron Baines.
You have to say it the other way. Anthony Davis is going to block the hell out of Zion Williamson. He's too good a defensive player. Because that's how our curse works.
Yeah, that.
You got me.
Yeah, no. If he's got Lemon James and Anthony Davis guarding him in the paint, it's over.
He's not, and he's never going to be able to dunk on them. No, it's not happening. We're never going to see that highlight ever, and we're all just going to be disappointed for the rest of our lives.
Please, as a Celtics fan.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now actually, and the Pals record in their last 10's not too bad either.
No, like
They haven't shot at playoffs.
Well, the last 10 games they've played, they've literally only lost to really good teams. They've lost to Denver, then they've beaten Boston, Cleveland. They lost to Houston, Milwaukee, then they've beaten Chicago, Indiana, Portland. They lose a close one to OKC.
right now they're winning the games that they should.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a mark of I'm not saying that they're a really good team, but that is a mark of a good team generally.
Of a decent team, they'll take care of business against the teams that they should be, and then at least give really good teams a run for their money.
Just a quick runner-up for that. Another winner of the week has to be Bam Adebayo, winner of the NBA Skills Challenge.
Shout out, mate.
Hey, shout out Bam though. He's been unreal this season.
Yeah.
He needs that. Like he's picked it up. He went from Hassan Whiteside's backup to an All-Star in one season. Like
Crazy.
He has to be a big shout for
Most
most improved. Yeah.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I think we forgot to mention.
Yeah, he's been completely.
It's because as we had this talk, it's like what level of players there are. It's like there's the elite for the most improved, which is like Brandon. It's like Bam's definitely.
I mean, I feel like
just below. I reckon he's close now.
I reckon for what level Brandon Ingram is, I think Bam Adebayo is at that same level. I mean, they're both first-time All-Stars. Bam Adebayo has put up nearly triple-double numbers several times.
Yeah, see, the thing with Bam is he's not the first option on his team, whereas Brandon Ingram is. So Ingram's obviously going to put up probably better numbers. But yeah, Bam's good. He's really good. I don't know if he's as good as Brandon Ingram, but he is really good.
I mean, you saw how I think it was Pat Riley was talking. Was it Pat Riley talking to him? He's like,
yeah,
that's how Udonis Haslem. That's how that's how Zer. That's our guy.
He's really young as well. Ben.
Yeah,
I mean, you're in a pretty good spot.
They're one of the younger teams.
That's the thing. They've got Goran Dragic, Jimmy Butler on that team. They've got a really good mix of vets and old guys. I think somehow Udonis Haslem is still on the roster as well. So he's just going to raise the average of their age by 20.
Yeah, Udonis Haslem for Miami is like Majinkia for the world. Shout out Jinx.
Yeah,
I have no idea how that dude is still on an NBA roster, but shout out to him.
No, but I feel they've got a lot of good young pieces, man. Like Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson,
Tyler Herro. The man with the big attitude.
Well, bit overrated, I think. But yeah, he'll be good.
He will be, yeah. As long as he keeps up his attitude and confidence, there's no stopping him.
Yeah, so the Heat are the 6th oldest team in the league. Bucks are the oldest.
Yeah, we had this talk the other day because Kyle Korver's 400 years old, and Rolo and Rolo are
not very young either.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't think you could ever think that the Bucks were young. I mean,
they got a lot of vets, but
Chris Middleton is timeless. So The ageless wonder, that's right.
Alright. And he's also the skillless one, apparently.
No. Hey, we need
Give
to.
him the curse. Shit on Chris. He'll keep going. He'll be 60, 50, 100.
Bro, if we shit on... What's he going to do? How's he going to improve on what he's already doing right now?
I genuinely don't know. What are we going to do when this man is not named to an All-NBA team? There's going to be riots. We're going to riot.
There's going to be some official angry NBA casting, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, well, I guess from there we'll move on to my loser for the week. That's got to be the Indiana Pacers. They're 1-6 in their last 7, and the one victory was to a Giannis-less Bucks. And in that, they had at one point a 25-point lead, which was reduced in the at the final score to, what was it, 7 points, 8 points. They barely won that as well. Like, this team has. There was a Reddit thread. No, there's a Reddit user who, whenever the Brooklyn Nets are up at halftime and then blow their lead, he says, "Remember when the Nets were up at halftime and then blew their lead?"
Yeah.
And you could like keep clicking through that, and it goes back like years.
Yeah.
I feel like the Pacers have done that in the last 7 games every single time, because they built up that half game lead, and then they just blow it, and they don't know how to play the rest of the game. Right now, we're not seeing any, meshing between Victor Oladipo and Brogdon.
I mean, we kind of knew that was going to happen, though, just because Depot's come in at such a late part of the season,
I get that,
and he's not fit as well.
I think Depot is kind of trying to get back too quickly to what he was before.
I think the problem with that is that because Indiana are actually overachieving, like they shouldn't. They shouldn't be where they are. Like there's no way they should be contending for home.
Nate McMillan is,
and I think that is the reason why Depot is essentially why, whether it's through his mind or Pace's mind, being brushed back,
I don't think I think it's by his own folly that he's rushing back, because in his first game he was like I said, he was making those mistakes that it was just he wasn't up to speed with the ball and things like that. But he's able to make the right moves. He's able to make the right plays as long as he doesn't do too much. Whereas in the past few games, there was a close game that they lost where he had a pull up 3-point shot which he missed, and it's if he doesn't take that, they could probably get a better shot. But it's I need to hit this shot right now because I need to get back to my old level.
Yeah.
So he's forcing himself to do too much right away, and that's causing the Pacers to lose the continuity that they'd already built up.
Yeah, I agree.
You can see this in every single team where they've had a star player that's injured that's coming back mid-season.
Yeah,
This always happens.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot easier if Indiana was sort of if they were 10, say. I don't think
there would be no pressure, no
exactly.
Yeah,
no expectations.
Yeah, but as I said, in a way, they are overachieving.
They definitely are.
Yeah, they're definitely looking at their roster. I'm not saying they're a bad team, but they're definitely not the 4th or 5th best team in the East. So, and I think that's a big contributor to why Depot would want to sort of be back and playing well, because he probably thinks, well, hey, we can win a playoff series against somebody.
The only thing
Hopefully the Sixers.
I'm unsure about, I think that would be the matchup, right? No, it wouldn't be the matchup now because they're both in the second half of the top 8. But if there's one thing that I'm unsure about, and I want to confirm it, but if he's in the starting lineup right now, I think he needs to go to the bench. Not that he needs to be benched or anything like that, but he needs to come off the bench because there's no one off the bench that's probably going to be able to guard Oladipo.
That's a huge call.
Right now,
India's 6th now. Yeah.
Indy.
So
right now we got
they'll
Heat
get
versus
smacked by
Sixers.
Boston.
Yeah, well, I can't see us losing.
I can't see Philly finishing below Indiana as well.
Yeah, because it looks like they're at least starting to
I
get
hate
this
to
stuff.
say it, but they really are.
It looks like they're starting to get it together, but
I guess we'll talk more about that a bit later. But
Ben Simmons on a tear right now.
Shout out Australia. Hey, shout out Matisse. He's going to play for Australia.
That's what Ben Simmons says. Who knows? Simo doesn't play for Australia himself, though. So
Take a 3. All right.
I mean, he did, and then he just stopped. But anyway, we won't go too far.
I
on the
digress.
tangent
This
there.
Into our news.
Yeah, this new
What do we got, Dave?
we first got to talk about Damian Lillard and his groin injury that he picked up just before the All-Star break came along. Well, obviously his injury has given way in the All-Star game to Devin Booker, but I did want to touch on like what this means for Portland as a team, because he's out for about 1 to 2 weeks, if that's even possibly extended. I think that cuts their playoff chances completely.
Yeah, that's it.
I disagree, because if it is only 1 or 2 weeks, it's sort of, I mean, there's never a good time, but now is the best time.
Yeah.
And I think having just a week off of like, with all that load he was doing,
I think
you can't walk out there and drop like 45 a night. That's not easy.
I'm with Brad though. I can't see the Trailblazers doing too well without Dame. I mean, if he misses any length of time,
Well,
given
Like,
where they already are.
if he misses 3 games even and they lose all 3 of those, I think they're done.
That's it. Yeah.
Keeps them
Because I feel like we do need to
they're
talk about
already
this.
4 games back as well. Actually, yeah, you've
Like
convinced me.
CJ McCollum has not been the player he was in previous seasons.
CJ for me is one of those guys that falls into the category of being a perfect number 3 option, not a number 2, not on a really good team.
And I mean, you can keep on talking about Yusuf Nurkic is still missing, and
Zach Collins.
Zach Collins is out, but like his entire supporting cast is still like by name decent, right? Like Hassan Whiteside, he should be a solid defensive presence, and he's athletic. He's able to provide the inside presence that they need. Again, CJ McCollum should be better than this. His efficiency has been down.
Yeah, they should at least be a good enough team to like
Put up a fight
win
when
games,
he's not there.
Yeah, win games. Dame's not
But
playing.
like right now, just even when Dame's playing, just for them to win, he has to drop 45. Average 45.
Yeah, I feel like Terry Stotts doesn't get enough blame for this season's performance as well, because they do have a really good team, and I don't want to shit on Terry Stotts because he's been an amazing coach the last few seasons, but they've underperformed this season, and I think that a lot of the
Injuries
time,
are a big factor,
yeah.
but they still have a good enough team to be.
Yeah, I mean,
to be better than what they are, they should be behind a team like the Grizzlies.
No,
I mean, yeah,
Just
they
based on how
should
good
have
they
enough
want to be.
in
vets
the
to.
Western Conference Finals, like
That's the thing. It's such a massive drop off, and the only player they're down, because Yusuf Nurkic, he didn't go down, right at the end of the season. They did the entire playoffs without him.
Exactly, and they played well without him.
Yeah, so like, why is there such a drop off? Because apart from Yusuf Nurkic, they didn't lose any significant players, right?
yes, they picked up Hood. He was really good for them in the playoffs, and Zach Collins as well. Like I think he started the year really well.
And then he dropped off he fell off a cliff.
Injured. Well, yeah, he got
exactly.
injured.
And fell off a cliff when he got back.
I think the Trailblazers.
He's not back yet.
Yeah,
The previous season when he
no,
played.
I meant why they're not doing as well now.
Yeah, but I think the Trailblazers, like Bill said, they've had issues with continuities and injuries just because, we've had random players miss a week or 2 here and there, and that's not good for a team's chemistry, because you can't get everyone together and playing together for an extended period of time. And I feel like this is where coaching really comes into it, being able to manage through those periods and being able to reintegrate those players when they come back so that they can get everyone fully firing at the same time. But I feel like, just so far the Trailblazers haven't really been able to do that, and I think that's cost them this season.
I just checked the standings. They're not making playoffs.
There's really no chance.
And the owner, Paul Allen, has invested very heavily in the team as well. Like, you can't put this on ownership and say they're not putting money into the team.
And it's still not even an executive problem, because, again, you look at the roster they put together. They have the talent.
They've got a good team.
Even before the season started, in the offseason, they picked up Kent Bazemore, which was supposed to be a good pickup.
Well, they got a reason now as well. I think he's a really good pick. I think, looking at their roster, I think genuinely, last season, Western Conference Finals probably the peak for this roster.
And
I think the main issue, they just don't have enough quality on the wings.
I haven't checked I haven't checked the ESPN trade machine or anything like that. And I mentioned this earlier. I feel like they should have made a move for Al Horford. Traded CJ McCollum for Al Horford.
I saw that one as well, but it's hard.
Because I think Dame needs to have the ball the entire time. And when CJ gets the ball, he's not it's just another ISO player, and they don't need that. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, from like the franchise point of view, you have to like Portland's one of those like teams and franchises where it's like they really like care about like
their guys.
Yeah, like Dame would never leave, like just because of things like that. And so I think CJ now, like he's been there for a fair while. Yeah, I just couldn't see it. I think they're not one of those franchises to like you wake up one day and go, holy shit,
they've just gotten rid of
Paul George. Like, I don't think Portland are one of those franchises. So.
I guess that why it hurt so much when LaMarcus Aldridge left.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. So it's I don't know what they can do, but I'm with you now. I've checked standings. Portland, they're not making playoffs, which is absurd.
Given what they did last
year. Yeah.
And with that, the other thing to talk about that Damian Lillard's injury has given way to is Devin Booker has taken his place in everything for the All-Star break.
Shout out my man.
Gosh, for this, hey?
Time,
man.
He's now in what's happening right now, the three-point contest. He's in the All-Star game. Heck yeah. So I guess we got to talk about that. I mean,
I think thoroughly deserved. Like there's people complaining that Trae Young's not picked for the USA squad, right?
What?
That's like, yeah, the 44-man squad.
Oh, right, yeah.
To be fair, though, Trae's putting up pretty insane.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is, like, we need to remember that this man, Devin Booker,
is being slept on as well.
Yeah, for 4 years. Like this guy's genuinely, like, essentially, you know, like a top 5 scorer in the league. And, like, well, he has been for, like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Now. Like, I'm not saying he is I'm saying his points per.
Yeah, his points per game.
Like obviously KD, Harden, etc.
On good efficiency too.
Yeah, well, he's been on
he doesn't just chuck shots. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really glad for Book that he's there. I think it's crazy that he hasn't been.
Like, I feel like he's the guy who's like, and it was really frustrating that he wasn't chosen for it as well. But like, he's the guy that's like exhausted every possible argument that people had against him. It's like in the first few years where he was already deserving, it was like, it's your team's not good, or you're
just chucking up shots,
or you're young, you'll have the rest of your career to do it. But Brandon Ingram is younger than Devin Booker.
His team isn't much better, to be quite honest.
That too.
Yeah,
like Devin Booker is putting up.
That's why this year specifically for the All-Star selections is so like weird, because it's like
every argument against him, like, oh, you got to win games. He's doing that. You got to put it up on good efficiency. He's doing that. You're too young. No, he's younger than. There's guys younger than him on the roster. So what? How can that argument?
Yeah, what's the argument against Booker being an All-Star?
Yeah, it's just that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just too many weird like things that have happened for the selections this year for
like
them to have not been picked initially.
Yeah, like honestly, I like Ban, but he shouldn't be an All-Star. A guy like Bradley Beal. There's some dodgy.
I think in that sense it was more because of the positions they had to fill.
But still, work it.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I'm really happy with like it's clear that even the players were straight up thinking that like, oh yeah, this guy's going to be the All-Star, because like when Dame got injured, he's like, yeah, I got to take care of myself, but like, and it's a shame that I got to be the fall guy, but
Devin Booker.
He straight up said Devin Booker, and then he said someone like him to step back that statement a bit. But it's like
I think Booker could have been in over Ingram himself.
Yeah, no, I agree. I genuinely.
You could make an argument.
Yeah, no, you could. I agree. Like that's a whole another topic. It's sort of like same team record, sort of similar stats, and sort of similar talent levels. But yeah, it's just really happy for Book. He should definitely be there. Hopefully, he wins this 3-ball contest as well. Would love to see the man heat up and break his own record again. That'd be nice. Maybe only miss one shot.
Wow, that would be impressive, huh?
We only missed a few.
The year in one.
Yeah.
That was absurd. Gee.
All right. Well,
Booker is definitely one of the most skilled players in the NBA.
Oh yeah, you can't like score what he's scoring and have his assist numbers on his.
No, just like his all-around game is so at least offensively.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
complete. Yeah,
he's probably the next closest guy to becoming a James Harden type player, in my opinion. Like he's doing everything on his team right
now.
For
output, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like
completely different style
of play. Yeah, but like the numbers that they put up, it's like he's quite often gotten close to that, like he'll drop like 40 points and then have also like 11 rebounds and 9 assists. He's done that.
Can't wait for him to go to Minnesota with the 11 cap.
No, that franchise is going to find a way to mess that up.
No, they'll get them, and those will be the only 3 players on the team, and they'll probably, you know, have to.
They'll get Jared Bayless or something.
With that, I think we should also talk about what's going on with the Philadelphia 76ers right now. I mean, yeah, like, last time we talked about them, compared to that, they've done a bit better. But in their, and again, they've always been it, but they're doing really well at home. Their past 3 games, they're on a 3-game winning streak, have been at home, and they won all those. But they've still got their road problems where they are 9-19 on the road. And I mean, given the fact that they're playoff bound, and they're
not looking like they're in the running for a home playoff.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to get taken out in the first round.
Well,
I don't know about the first round.
No, because if they're playing against someone like the Miami Heat in the first round,
I feel like they can get up for a team like Miami.
No, but the thing is, if they do play against Miami in the first round, Miami also has that amazing home ground, power. Like they have a crazy home record. I think Philadelphia has 1 loss. They have 2 losses at home.
Philly are one of those teams like where at the start of the year everyone's like, "Oh shit, Philly's gonna win it all."
Yeah, no, but they should have. They should be.
But now that we've seen them play and we're 55 games in and they haven't pulled it together, but now it's like
it's not just a matter of pulling it together. Like the roster is
not buying
well
it.
built.
Yeah. No.
The thing is.
Right.
I think it is well built, and I think the recent changes that they've made can have a major
I don't
impact.
think the changes they've made. They can have an impact, but I don't think the changes they made are enough to be the deal breaker.
Yeah, the major change that they made is Al Horford is now coming off the bench for the first time in 12 years.
Yeah, they needed to make that.
That was
change.
a good decision.
They didn't work. Him and Joel didn't work.
That's the thing, yeah. So
Ben had been playing the 5 for like the last 5 years. So
yeah, so like Ben and Joel works, Ben and Horf works, and the three don't work together. And instead, Furkan Korkmaz has been starting in his place. The man hasn't.
The king.
Has he missed
Shout out Furkan.
Well, that's the thing. The first 2 games since he started he dropped like 30 and 30. And then the 3rd game, he was like 0 for 5.
That's the player he is.
How crazy is it, though, that Furkan Korkmaz has 2 consecutive 30-point games in the NBA?
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I like that.
That's sick.
Yeah, I reckon, I think he's loved, Landry Shamet.
Yes.
Shamet?
Yeah. Shout out Shamet.
We got he got the business from Kemba the other day, though.
Oh, yeah, that was a mean crossover. He hopped on one leg and let him fall backwards.
On the Sixers though, I like Kaz. He's Celtic. I want the Bucks to win it. I'm worried if the Sixers pull together.
If they actually, if they figure it out, that's a scary team.
I think they're probably the best in the league. If they pull it together. Talent-wise, I don't think there's a...
I think, because they've got an all-round roster in terms of, there's an even spread of talent.
I think in terms of talent, the fit is what's questionable.
I think
that's what I'm saying.
With Boston, it's they're kind of like the Raptors in that sense, where there's not much drop-off when they go to the bench compared to other teams. But I think
Philly don't have...
that drop-off...
Horford now.
Yeah, there's not much of a drop-off, but the problem is that the starting lineup isn't as amazing compared to
I
other
feel
teams.
like most of that just comes down to fit.
All right, just quickly shout out Trae Young. I don't think he's gonna miss a 3-pointer. I say that, and he's just
he's missed 3 in a row. Yeah.
This is what our curse does, man. This is what our curse does. Don't worry.
The curse in action live. Unbelievable.
He's balling from the window. Here we go.
Oh, okay. There's the money ball.
So.
But the other part of it is Brett Brown. What's going to be his future with the Sixers?
I don't know, because whenever he's spoken to the media, he keeps saying I've tried everything, especially with Ben Simmons taking threes, and it's
begging with his family through texts.
Yeah, so it's how much clearly he's trying. This team,
he's doing his best. I just don't know if his best is enough.
Well,
necessarily.
they were literally 2 seconds away from probably winning the finals. But
don't know about winning the finals.
But fairly winning good.
Well, at least winning the East. But who knows? Even if they do make the finals, who knows if
Trae
they
Young is an
Oh my
absolute
goodness.
This man just made.
I've seen enough.
I've seen it all.
I've seen enough.
I've seen it all.
That's what 2 due balls which he missed and a full money ball rack.
This is what being bold does.
All right. Well, that's. I guess we've talked shit about.
It's a
the
bad
Sixers
idea
there.
watching.
Oh, it's fine. We can have a more relaxed one for today.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
It's the All-Star edition of the NBA
Yeah,
Beancast.
it's the All-Star break. It's we are taking a break in our own way.
Exactly. Just chatting shit.
Yeah. So this is the best team to talk shit
He's
about.
not happy. He's like, man,
The most fraudulent
this is
shooter in the
my this is
NBA.
my dark horse right here, Dev.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
Go
He
on.
gets hot.
I guess this is basically us doing a live show.
It's
um, the
Yeah,
next.
ball.
Okay.
Rick.
Well, I think that's.
Whoa,
Oh my goodness!
I've seen
Oh
it.
man!
I've actually seen it all.
Oh,
Is
boy.
this Paul George 2017?
Bro,
Drink
no,
point?
it's Buddy Hill. Buddy Hill is gonna win.
My goodness.
Buddy Hill has
Dev.
got it.
Heat up,
Oh,
baby.
there we go.
Heat up, baby. There you go.
Oh no.
All right. What
Yeah,
do
it's
we got
over.
next?
I've seen enough.
The next team to talk about is the LA Clippers,
Oh,
and I
boy.
mean, they're a team that has really bought into what the Toronto Raptors started last year with load management.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard has been not playing his back-to-backs and taking breaks whenever he needs. And there's been a lot of injuries on the roster. There's not been everyone playing together very often, but that's the major problem is that everyone says that when the whole roster
Yeah.
plays together, they're crazy good. They have a crazy good roster.
Yeah,
but
when,
they've
does the
really
whole, when does the whole roster
That's
play
the
together?
problem.
Kaz and I actually had this talk.
Yeah, and I'm
like,
on Brad's side completely.
Yeah. Like the excuses are there for them. Like that's fine. Like no team can have their top 2 guys miss. It's something ridiculous. It's like nearly 35 games of the first 55.
Yeah, but then at the end of the day,
Yeah, but that's the
This is
problem.
still a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like so, the excuses exist, and they're valid excuses for why their record isn't unbelievable. Like their record's still pretty good,
Yeah, but-
considering. But it's like because these injuries exist, that's why the problems are there.
I feel like they
Why
have the
they're-
same
Exactly.
ideas as the Philadelphia 76ers
no, but
last season.
I feel like the issue with the Clippers though, because they've got obviously very talented team, but they've been missing Kawhi for random spurts, they've missing
Yeah.
Paul George for
Pat
random
Bev
spurts,
now.
Beverly for random
Yeah.
spurts. How do you get offensive and defensive continuity when your best players are missing so much time?
Yeah, it's a
This is going to be a huge problem going into the playoffs where you need that sort of continuity and
I think,
the team
yeah,
chemistry.
Boston's a big one for this as well. I keep saying to you as well. Like if they
I
can
agree.
if they can have 15 games without any major injury, just consistent, you're essentially your best team out there. I think that it's a scary prospect for the rest of the league.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, right, with the Celtics, at least I have faith in Brad Stevens to get some semblance of a...
Well, he can still do it when the team's depleted.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
Like, we can keep the team running, at least, while
the Clippers just seem to be banking on the fact that
they're so much more talented than everyone.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but this is the thing as well with Doc Rivers coach teams. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but as a Celtics fan, I have taken a lot of interest in Doc Rivers' career
I know where you're
after he's
going.
left us. Yeah, and he's always been like this, where the team doesn't really have too much of an offensive identity. He's an after timeout wizard, obviously, but yeah, they're more focused on. He's more of a defensive head coach.
So to me, what I've seen with Doc Rivers is like when when they had when they had Lob City in LA.
Yeah.
He was an amazing coach in terms of how he turned around DeAndre Jordan's career, like what he was going to be, and he did amazing things with that team. But when that team sort of stagnated and they got rid of their pieces and they were an underdog team, that's when it's like his coaching really shone.
Yeah.
I feel like he's not that great when he has all the talent. He's more like Brad Stevens in those first few seasons.
I actually disagree with this because he showed that he can win a ring with an elite level team. But I think the type of coach that he is obviously, again, like his after timeout work is incredible, but his best work as a coach really comes as a motivator. He's a player's coach. I feel like if you can't get the players to all buy in at the same time,
I mean, yeah, you've got Kawhi and Paul George who already know they're really
exactly into one identity. And Kawhi and Paul George, Kawhi's already experienced the success, and Paul George, while he hasn't done that, I'm not sure that he's the kind of guy
He's been to the conference finals.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows Like
He does, but
people
I
forget that.
I don't think PG is the kind of guy that is willing to sacrifice a lot to win a ring. Whereas the Boston Celtics, for example, they came together when they're all late in their careers and they're like, all right, let's do whatever we have to get this ring.
Yeah.
Kawhi's already, because
NBA.
and none of them had experienced any success to that level at that point.
Kawhi's
gotten that. Yeah. Kawhi knows what it takes, but I'm not too sure about PG.
But Kawhi's like, I feel Kawhi's not in that position where it's like we need to buy in. I feel like he's in that position where it's like we need you to be that guy, like the sort of the LeBron. Like,
you are the system.
Yeah,
he's not ready to become.
Instead of being like, no, let's all buy in and have like Lou Will, Kawhi, PG, Marcus Morris all score 18 points a game and be unbelievably good.
I think the other, but this is a problem that I haven't really spoken about, and I feel like it's going to be maybe a hot take, but I feel like the way that Kawhi leads his team is not very beneficial to any team, in the sense that when you don't have that leader like Kawhi Leonard just saying, get in line, like just get in line.
You're talking like.
Then you'll have guys like Montrezl Harrell and
loud vocal leader.
Yeah. Then you'll have guys like Montrezl Harrell who are saying like, we don't know what our identity is, and everyone's playing for their own thing. It's like, that's the reason that because he doesn't say anything. That's the reason you have those kinds of problems.
I think Kawhi is more of a lead by example type leader.
So I get that
think that's fine, but
he needs to also use his voice.
I don't think it necessarily has to be him, but I think because I think it would seem inauthentic if Kawhi just started barking at players.
Then at least it has to be Paul George.
They're not
someone.
Yeah, because they're probably not going to take Kawhi seriously if he just starts barking, because they're going to be like, that's not
what
you.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, that's not you.
No, but that's the thing. If he does start barking, it must mean that he's taking this team that much more seriously. Right? Like, if it's come to that, like, okay, we're not doing what we need to do, then and it's come to the point where I have to change who I am, then it's this guy is taking it seriously. We need to take him seriously.
Because you have to remember, like Kawhi led the Raptors as well, and it's like I feel like as an NBA player, when you're out there and it's literally like we have a Kawhi and like you're on this team, it's like how much better does that make you feel? Like, and then you got this guy leading by example. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm with Kaz. I don't think he needs to start barking at them. I think I do think the Clippers need something in terms of that leadership.
Something to get them going.
I think they just need the continuity. Like, as we've already said, like, give me the Clippers and Celtics playing, 10 or 15 games with essentially their best, 7 or 8 guys, and it's then all of a sudden they're that team everyone expected.
Yeah, but just going back to the way Doc coaches his teams, like, while they're not always necessarily offensively elite, his calling card really is his defense, and I feel like the Clippers have been sort of underwhelming on that end, particularly given how much talent they have. They're a good defensive team, but they're not like a top 5 defense.
You know what? That's the weird thing.
It seems to me like when they want to be, they can lock in. They are probably the best defensive team. Well, probably apart from Philly, like 1-1.
You know what? You say that, but they are number 6 in offensive and defensive rating. I mean, you say when they want to.
Do you know what? I think the Clippers are just like the whole problem is like because they we challenged Golden State last year. They were healthy. We've got Kawhi. We've got PG. The expectations are so high that, as we said, like no team in the league can have their 2 best players miss 30 games out of 50 and be, what are they, like 3 or 4 games off the 1 seed. But because of these expectations, it's like it's so much worse for them.
Exactly. So, yeah, it is understandable, but at the end of the day, this isn't helping them at all.
I feel like they've got 2 issues. One with continuity where kind of similar to the Philadelphia 76ers last season. They brought in Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler last season in the middle of the season. And they were all also missing games in between, and there was no continuity. Somehow they managed to pull together in the playoffs, and they came close, a shot away.
Yeah, I think that's what the Clippers are.
But I guess they're banking on that. But again, like if you're 1 shot away from the playoffs, and you've got 2 guys sort of not played together very much, and a bit of a strange system which still doesn't know its identity, that's going to cause much more issues. Whereas the Philadelphia 76ers, they were like, okay, we have these 2 guys up front, then we have Jimmy Butler and Jimmy Butler for the 4th quarter, which they understood, They have Tobias Harris throughout the game, a bit less than Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. They sort of knew where their players were, whereas I don't know if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard will be able to make that difference.
Yeah, and if you watch the Clippers play these days, they're very They're very ISO-centric offensively.
They're playing out of the playoffs.
Yeah, so they're essentially, but the thing is, they're just taking turns on offense.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean,
Well, they
obviously,
don't have Pat Bev as well.
yeah, I
There
mean,
was
obviously, it's not the most fun thing to watch, but I feel like this probably isn't the most
This is
sustainable
what people
way
thought
to play.
Harden and Westbrook would be.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um,
They are playing how people thought Harden and Westbrook would play together.
I did want to give a shout out to so Paul George has been a strange player this season where, obviously again, he's had that expectation of being like a 25 points per game guy, and he's going to bring that defense and he's going to have that efficiency and that 3-point shooting and all of that. But like he's just been not there this season. I mean, I wanted to give a shout out to a couple of Reddit users. This thread is amazing.
It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Hey, shout out Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes, by the way.
Shout out Patty Mahomes. Fucking unbelievable, mate.
All right, Brady, sorry, you
All right,
go for it,
I
man.
gotta go down this thread. We had DNP 13, PG 1 to 3 weeks, PG 13 games played, PG 13 first round picks. Hey, sorry, that's day off P, pay off P, PG league, PG 13 points per game. This man, these names just got me good, man.
Day off P is my favorite. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I really like it.
that's hilarious.
Did anybody expect him to miss more games than Kawhi by like 20?
Sort of, yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
not surprised. He's got it. He's had injury issues.
Well, no, that's the thing. It's been that for I think for the past 2 seasons, but before that, he was a pretty solid guy. Like before he broke his leg, essentially.
He plays games.
Yeah, but
maybe not 80, but like 75, 75, 74.
yeah, I mean
that.
that's consistent enough. But then the last few seasons has just been awful. Like whether he was with OKC or when even now at the Clippers, it's just been the complete opposite. He's playing like 50 games a season at most.
Yeah, I really just think that, as we said, that the Clippers are just banking on we have more talent than everybody else, and in the playoffs we're going to have more talent on the court, and that's what's going to win it for us. And
I mean, generally that works, but I don't know if that's going to be enough in the finals.
Yeah, they at least need some continuity to play together. Shout out, buddy!
I called it.
Woo! That's his last 9 in a row.
That was pretty impressive.
Damn, boy!
Just shows you what having a full head of hair can do.
Trey Young.
Well, I mean, Buddy Hill's got a pretty big forehead.
Yeah, but at least the growth is.
Yeah.
He can absolutely stroke that.
I told you.
Damn. He could win it all, man.
All right, now we got.
Now we got the snub. Now we got the everything snub.
Book's gonna go absolutely ham. Yeah, I reckon.
He's either
Buddy
going to go too hard and he's just going to be chucking everything up.
Buddy Hill to a 20. Oh yeah, another thing. Just
Davis Bertans, is he next?
Yeah, Bertans.
Just another thing I wanted to talk about with the Clippers while we're just talking about the 3-point contest. Yeah, I feel like it's also kind of gone under the radar that Lou Will seems to be doing most of the closing for them, not Kawhi. While we did,
I think what you said before, where they're sort of like taking turns.
Yeah.
Like Kawhi's still taking shots at the end, but I do get what you mean.
Yeah, Lou does seem to be
He wants it more.
taking most of the offensive load towards the end of games. But actually, this isn't too inconsistent with how Kawhi was playing, even in Toronto, for example, where in the fourth quarters of the finals games, he wasn't really taking over. Like, he was going off the first
He
three
was
quarters.
hitting the big shots,
Yeah, but-
sort of thing. The
yeah, but-
momentum.
Yeah, and it felt like towards like the last quarter, maybe he stepped off the gas a little bit as opposed to how he was in the first 3. But yeah, no, obviously games 3 and 5, he blew the doors off. But yeah, this will be an interesting dynamic just going forward. I just want to see who's going to end up taking the most offensive responsibility going into the playoffs.
I think
Yeah, I
it
feel
will
like
be
this will be-
Kawhi. It has to be Kawhi. Yeah,
It has to be.
your best player. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously if they pull it together,
It's not really. That's the thing. It's not really a matter of pulling it together for them because they've still got the top number 6 offense and number 6 defense.
Yeah, and that's what I've said. Like, the excuses are there for why they're not the 1 seed, right? But the problem is, it's like if they're this like unhealthy, I would say, going in to the playoffs. Like, there's more than 4 or 5 teams good enough in the West that can beat anybody just about.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
Those boys up in Denver, the Houston Rockets. The Rockets deserve more.
Yeah, you know me. Shout out Russ. Houston win it all. Now, what's the date? Lock it in. 16th of Feb. It's actually, I locked it in our prediction in the group chat before the season started.
You did.
I'm living with that.
All right, well, my boy Levine is going off, and I think that's the perfect moment to take a break before we enter our final segment.
Alright, and with that, we'll get into the final segment of today's podcast. That'll be the predictions for this week. We could possibly do 2 predictions this week. One of both. We could do either, or we could do both. I reckon we could either do the All-Star game, just guess who will be the winner between Team Giannis and Team LeBron.
I mean, it should be just based on how good the team is. Should be Team LeBron, but you never know just because it's the All-Star game.
Or we could do another game which I've found from this week, which will be the first day back after the All-Star break. That'll be the Charlotte Hornets versus the Chicago Bulls.
Just shows you how much the league cares about, the All-Star weekend. That they put that as the first game back.
Well, no,
That
there's a
is
couple of games on the day.
horrific.
There's a couple of games on the day. Those were the games that, like, they expected these teams to be really good, so they put them on. There's, like,
Who
Sixers...
expected the Hornets to be really
I
good?
said the other games. There's,
yeah.
Sixers versus Nets is on TNT that day.
right.
And there's another one I can't remember. I think that's Houston versus Golden State. That was on TNT as well.
I was going to say, I don't think anyone except Jinx thought the Hornets were going to be really good this season.
It's true. But yeah, we can. I guess we'll do Chicago Hornets. Hornets at Chicago.
All right, so this is basically SARS versus the bubonic plague.
I'll just let you guys know one quick thing. So Wendell Cartier Jr. is
He's
finally
back.
set to return. And the Hornets are completely healthy, and also Otto Porter Jr. possible return.
Excuse me?
Who? I thought
Michael Porter Jr.'s lost cousin.
I forgot about that guy. It's been a few years since he's played.
Shout out Buddy Hill. Buddy Hill winning this thing.
I'm telling you guys.
All right, we're just going to pause real quick while we watch
We got
Buddy Hield.
we got 27 seconds. Gotta make them all.
He is a gunner. I'm telling you guys.
He's got to make this last rack. He's gonna have to make
If
them
he
all.
see the thing is, if he goes 20 plus here,
Wait,
He's
what?
close.
he should still be
The
The
playing.
score to beat is 26?
Bang!
Yeah,
He's
but
home,
this
he's
isn't the
home.
elimination score though. But yeah, Devin Booker
He's winning it. He's winning it all, brother. He's not missing.
boom,
He's not missing.
boom,
It's over.
boom.
That's it. It's
Oh.
done. Wait, oh no, it's the last shot.
Oh! 27. God damn.
Get off the court, Trae Young. You did nothing.
Grow some hair first.
Jeez.
God damn.
Shout out Buddy Hill.
That's crazy.
That's on the pod. All right.
So what are we predicting? Chicago and Charlotte.
Yeah. Like I
Damn.
said, Otto Porter Jr. may be returning.
Oh man, if he's playing, I'm taking the Hornets.
I've heard enough.
that has to be the little intro snippet, Brad. I'm done. Yeah, I'm
Alright.
taking Charlotte.
Alright, so boys, who you got? The bubonic plague or SARS? Brad, what you got?
I love Levine. I love Levine a lot. But I feel like... Nah, you know what? I gotta buy in. I'm taking the Bulls. I love Levine.
Alright.
Yeah.
He's gonna be charged up after, the All-Star snub, and he's gonna have a crazy
Snub.
second half of the season.
Snub. Snub. Only Rouleau would argue that Zach Levine
No,
is an
Rulo
all-star
wouldn't
snub.
argue it either.
He actually doesn't think he was.
Oh yeah, true. He says that it'd just be cool because Chicago. Damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Buddy Hill.
Buddy, the man.
Flamethrower.
Alright, and Karan, who have you got?
Alright, like Bill said, it's all going to come down to Otto Porter Jr. Big players. I got the Hornets.
Okay, why are you guys always the opposite? Like, I didn't even choose last this
I
time.
don't know.
Oh, but wait. Terry Rozier is still healthy, right?
Yeah, everyone on the
Oh,
Hornets is
crap.
healthy.
Now it's tight. Ooh. Probably got the Hornets.
Yeah, Hang on.
Alright, I guess we'll message Jinx and find out.
Jinx
who he
on
thinks.
Hornets.
Yeah, of course, because Jinx just agrees with everything Bill says.
That's right. Hornets, Jinx.
They're one and the same. Shout out, Jinx.
Let's get it.
Alright, well, that's the end of today's Beancast, and at the perfect time as well, as the 3-point contest has come to an end, and we got to see Buddy Hield win it all.
Shout out.
Shout out, buddy.
So,
Sacramento.
Oh yeah, by the way, we forgot to do one more thing. Another winner for the week, the LA Lakers, LeBron James Player of the Week, Anthony Davis, Depoy candidate for the year.
I cut it out right there.
Beancast
I
curse.
cut it out as you were saying that. That's how it's going to end.